Soon as the obsessed with compulsive gamer, the O.C.G, and I'm here playing Darksiders 2. Next gen version. Hopefully I'll have now. Okay. Come on, babe. Oh wait, I forgot there's some loot over here.
You may ache, Warden, but you're not corrupted. Not yet.
Corrupted. Then it was not a dream. The Makers have need of me.
The Makers say that you can reach the Foundry, and that a Guardian lies within.
The Foundry, yes. It is where I was cast. But it was lost. And now you will need my help.
Corruption spreads across your realm, and you slumber.
Stone is heavy. It is easier to rest. In my dreams, I can move again. In my dreams, I am flesh.
This place, what was it?
I cannot tell you. It's on the tip of my tongue, but my tongue seems to be elsewhere.
Will you help me, Old One?
Yes.
Shall we?
Hold on, little one. In my slumber, I have felt the Guardian reaching to my dreams. He is the strongest of us all, but in his heart there is a hunger. The Guardian was built to destroy. He has much in common with corruption. You must speak with Adar and make your peace before crossing. There may be no crossing back.
I've restored your forge and brought life to stone. But am I any closer to the tree? Tell me now, or you may never get the chance. I hear the foundry is dangerous.
As is the tree, horseman, and the entire forest. That is why you must awaken the Guardian. But have you asked yourself, why you seek the tree?
The Tree of Life is where I will find my brother's absolution.
The Tree of Life is a gateway. From it, one may travel to places undreamed of, whether a world of oceans and forests, or ice, or endless night. The tree exists there. It may appear different, yet it is the same tree, and its roots connect all the realms. The Tree of Life is not where journeys end, but where they begin.
But no, to answer your question that you were saying earlier, Max, I wouldn't really consider this open world. This is the map. You have a central area here, that's the biggest, and then a bunch of smaller paths leading around. That's why I didn't describe it as open world. I guess the proper term would be wide linear. I mean, half the map is a fucking narrow path, bro. This is the biggest area, and it's not even that... Hold on. This is the single biggest open area in the game. By far. And it's fucking minuscule. Compared to any open world. Which then spreads into two much smaller paths, going this way or going that way. It's not exactly what I'd call open world. And your progression through the map is entirely controlled by the plot. You can't access the left path till you go this way. You can't access the right path till you go this way in the story. So it's gated off. You go here, then you unlock here, then you unlock here. So with the size and with the way that it's structured with the plot, it's really not open world. It's more wide linear.
Something troubles you.
Here is what you asked for.
Ah, thank you, horseman. You'll not be sorry for your trouble. This
Oh,
talisman will
gotta go.
certainly help you on your quest. But I fear you will not break your destiny.
No, but I believe I might bend it a little.
Actually, it's great talisman too. Oh, I have 2 skill points. Reaping, Death on Earthly Strength is increased for a short time. And you have skill trees. Let me see. Calm of the Grave, Killing Blow, Reaver Storm, Trauma. You are just like, I don't know, man. The fact that you spend so much time playing a version of the game that you literally don't understand is fucking insane. But, you know, you're gonna do you. Oh, that's right, I forgot to equip the talisman. I have a decent amount of money. You know what? Let's get the whirlwind combo.
Surprised you've gotten that far. Battle is far from over. Come on, show me what you've got. Well, a battle won should never go unrewarded. You got lucky. Mayhaps I am too old to do this.
Age isn't everything.
So, you can fight an old warrior, but to earn your name, you'll have to do better than that. Baethir, Echidna, Argyll, these are what we makers call death. You kill them all, and mayhaps I will grant you are the true Reaper.
Sounds like a challenge. If I'm to be your executioner, I would hear more of those that I'm to kill.
I will tell you what I know.
Where can I find Baethir?
Baethir and her kind once ranged across the Forge lands, hunting us like cattle as we made this world our home. One by one, we hunted down and slayed the fell beasts. But Baethir, she made herself a deep burrow, and slithers out only to feed. I only know that she's a beast of fire and smoke, and that she's made a lair beneath the earth.
What of Gorwood?
Once, Gorwood was a friend to my people.
Then why seek my aid?
Corruption has taken our forest, and Gorwood is a being of that old wood. Where one goes, so goes the other. Gorwood is filthy with corruption. He must be put down.
Even I know the name Echidna. Why do you seek her death?
An old debt, forged before your time.
All know the Shadow Realm of Echidna. Why do you not travel there and kill her?
I have tried, only to find her realm in chaos. The Spider Lords had bathed her throne in blood, and Echidna was nowhere in sight. I spent years following her trail to the realm of the dead. Then, all this happened. I returned home to my people, and left old debts unpaid.
Tell me about Argyll.
It's complicated.
A beast in need of killing. I had sight on the deed myself, when the current Lord of Bones rose up and defeated the
But
Mad
I'll give you the
King of
gist.
Undead.
Then Argyll is no more.
My bones have always told me otherwise. The old king lives. I'm sure of it.
Okay, so basically, there's heaven and hell, and there is the Charred Council that keeps balance between both. They both have to abide by certain rules, or they will face the Charred Council. The Nephilim were created from angels and demons. They were both. And they nearly destroyed all of creation because they weren't on the side of heaven or hell. And they were just fighting for themselves. And they were angel and demon. Well, 4 of them decided they didn't want to destroy all of creation, and they sided with the Charred Council and became granted even more power. They were already super powerful, and they became the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: war, death, fury, and strife. And for fucking thousands of years, they kept the balance, except humanity was supposed to be left untouched. Humanity was important to the balance, but it was we're early in our evolution. So, hell and heaven were supposed to leave Earth alone, so that we could develop in peace, and then we would all have a giant fight at the end times to determine who has what. But there was like strict rules that humanity couldn't be touched until the seals were broken, so that we would be on an even playing field. Somebody broke the seals early and framed war for it. So, in the first game, your war on Earth, hundreds of years later, trying to figure out who broke the seals and framed you, and I'm not going to spoil what happens, okay? And then concurrently to that, Darksiders 2 is Death trying to revive humanity. So, war is basically trying to figure out who framed him, and Death is trying to make it so that the crime he committed no longer exists. Because he figures if he can revive humanity, they'll let war go. And basically, they intended for Darksiders to be like the apocalyptic Avengers. Each game would introduce a member of the Brotherhood. Each one would have their own gameplay style. And then, after having all four of them have their own game, there would be a fifth game where all four of them came together. You could play the whole thing co-op and pick who you played, and they would fight heaven and hell. So, like have 4 games to introduce each member of the Brotherhood, and then have one where they all come together and conclude the story. Or, that part of the story, who knows. But unfortunately, Darksiders 2 came out in 2012. It was made by THQ, both of them were. And Darksiders 2 came out mere months before THQ went bankrupt the first time. And THQ came back as THQ Nordic, but it was substantially smaller. And slowly but surely, they've been making games and building up their legacy again. They did the Destroy All Humans remakes. Those are really good. They are doing the Gothic remake. And they've been building up the studio again. They did the Remnant games, which I highly recommend. And so in 2019, they were able to cobble together enough money to do Darksiders 3, but it was smaller budget, because Darksiders 2 had an enormous budget at the time, for 2012. It was THQ's biggest game. And the game actually sold very well, it just... THQ was fucking hemorrhaging money, so it wasn't enough to save THQ. So Darksiders 3, comparatively, even though it was on PS4 and Xbox One, had a lesser budget. But the fans were just happy. Yes, and that's what I'm saying, and THQ Nordic came about after THQ went under, and is the same people. The old THQ no longer exists. They went under, and then they re-emerged as THQ Nordic. So they are kind of the same and kind of not. But it's many of the same people that worked at THQ are working at THQ Nordic. No, they're not. It's literally a bunch of the core members of THQ reformed under Nordic and started buying back the rights to their old franchises. It's not all of the same people, because obviously the company was a lot bigger at its height before it went bankrupt, but the same people that ran THQ are there now. Most of them. So they have gradually been building up their legacy and building up their company since they came back, because when they came back as THQ Nordic, they were a lot smaller. So, they did Darksiders 3 in 2019, and it was a much more budget game than Darksiders 2, even though it was a generation advanced. It was still a good game, but most fans are just happy to have Darksiders 3 at all, because well, when THQ went under, it seemed like it was never going to happen, fucking ever. The same people that do Darksiders do Remnant. And, like I've said before, Remnant's a fantastic game. I recommend all three of them. It's Chronos, Remnant, and Remnant 2. You can see a lot of the similar design tenets in Darksiders, because it's the same guy, the creative director behind both. Darksiders Genesis is a spin-off that's separate. It's not considered one of the four. It's like a bonus game they threw in under a smaller budget. It's a top-down, two-player hack and slash with war and strife that takes place before the rest of the series. It's a prequel. It's a mixture of like Darksiders and Diablo, because it's top-down. I have it, it's pretty good. But anyway, so, the Remnant games were pretty big successes. Remnant 2 actually sold really, really well. And Darksiders 3 was a success. So, they announced Darksiders 4 a few months ago. I think for next year. And, it should have a considerably larger budget than Darksiders 3. And I'm interested to see how it's going to operate, because if it follows the pattern of the rest of the series, it should be focused on strife. Darksiders 1 is war, Darksiders 2 is death, Darksiders 3 is fury, so 4 should be strife, and he predominantly focuses on guns. He's a gun guy, so he'll have a very different kind of gameplay style than the other games, but they all have different gameplay, and go for a different vibe. That's why they wanted to introduce each member, because they wanted each member of the Horsemen to have a different fighting style and different gameplay, not just be the same gameplay. So they were like, they wanted to initially do all four of them, and they're like, that's a bit too ambitious, so why don't we introduce each one so we can build their gameplay, and then we bring them all together in the end. And we're slowly but surely moving towards that. And they decided to basically do a whole new version of Darksiders 2 to capitalize on the hype for Darksiders 4. And I hope they do a next-gen version for Darksiders 3 as well. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, so they all build up a larger story, but they take place separately. They're like, like I said, the Avengers, because they're all building towards a larger story, a final battle with the Horsemen fighting heaven and hell. But they're each separate contained stories. So they're smaller stories that feed into the larger story. Darksiders 1 is like if God of War, classic God of War, like, the original God of War games, classic God of War, Zelda, classic Zelda, and Portal had a baby. It's got, combat that's very similar to the original God of War games, but it has dungeon crawling and puzzle solving and gear progression like the classic Zelda games. You go to a dungeon, you solve puzzles, you get keys. Then you get an item that lets you open new areas in the world. Darksiders 2 still has a good helping of Zelda, but the combat is closer to something like Diablo, where you have a hotbar with abilities, and it has a gear system where you have skill trees, and you do that, and it has almost kind of like a Prince of Persia 2008 platforming, if you've ever played Prince of Persia 2008. Where you wall run and run up walls and climb beams, because death is much more athletic than war. War is the bruiser. Death is, all about speed and agility. And then Fury, it has, once again, a good helping of Zelda, but the combat is closer to a Souls-like, but not fully Souls-like. It's more elements, because it still feels like Darksiders, it still is closer to God of War, but has Souls-like elements thrown in. But I wouldn't really call it a Souls-like. Just like I wouldn't call this like a God of War clone. Like, it has elements from, like, all of them have elements from games, but they do something unique with it. So, in Darksiders 3, you have elements of the Souls games, but you don't have a stamina bar, you don't have a gear system, you don't have other stuff, and you still have the elements of Zelda, the elements of Portal, and stuff like that. So, each one has a unique gameplay type, while still having the central tenets of the series. So, you know, you have the core, but so each one is different compared to the brothers. Fury has a whip, and she's all about her whip, and it's like a dagger tail, because it's like a notched whip. And she gets, like, elemental power, so she can switch between the elements, and each weapon gives her a different... Each element gives her a different weapon, so you'll have her whip as her standard weapon, and then you'll have, like, an ice greatsword, or an electric spear, that you swap between, and each element gives her power, so you unlock an element, and then you can go to a new place. And so it's still got kind of the Zelda thing going, but not... You know, Darksiders 1 and 3 predominantly take place on Earth. But Darksiders 2 predominantly takes place in multiple other realms, like the Maker's Land that's here. But you go to Earth a little bit, so, you know, and there are shared characters between each of them. So, you know, Volgrim is the shopkeeper in all 4 games. He's fucking awesome. He's one of the best shopkeepers in gaming. But then each game will have unique villains and stuff like that. Like, I'm a really big fan of Darksiders.
Worry not, Maker. Now you can find your way home.
This compass guided me to many wonders. To hold it again after so long, it makes me feel a mere 500 years old. Thank you. I don't know, I'm just a pup.
I also really love the soundtrack for this game, because the soundtrack for this game is done by Jesper Kyd. He is the same composer who did the soundtrack for Assassin's Creed 2 and all of the Ezio games. And he's one of my favorite video game composers.
So the time has come.
What became of the other wardens?
In my dreams, I felt many of my brothers, but only one still called Aura, a warden most ancient. His soul still haunts me, though his stone is lost.
Tell me about the foundry.
It is a holy site, where soul is fused with stone.
Doesn't look so holy from here.
The darkness has spared in our realm. But the foundry is a place of magic. It is strong, and with your help we will claim it once more.
No point either.
You heard the warden. It's not safe to go alone. You need my help?
Yeah, I love Karn. He's considered a pup. They're the makers, the ones who built the cities of heaven and the cities of hell. They're impartial. They're just builders, but they're Scottish and Irish themed, and they're lived to be thousands of years old. Maybe more than that, honestly. I'm also a really big fan of the art style of Darksiders. The guy who, the main artistic guy behind Darksiders, his name is Joe Madura. He was a graphic novel artist, a very popular one before he made Darksiders. So, 7-8 gigs, I think. They're not that big. But the guy who does Darksiders, his name is Joe Madura. He was a graphic novel artist. He did a lot of really popular comics, ones you probably haven't heard of. But so he's the art director for all of the games, and they have a very elaborate, intricate art style that's like a comic book, but not. Because you can see they're very colorful. They have exaggerated characters and stuff, but they're not cartoony. Because he writes mature comics and he draws them. So I'm a big fan of the art style of Darksiders. They're all like this. And I like how they can have a colorful, vivid art style without it being cartoony.
Come on, I've thrown stones bigger than you. Got your eyes. Up along.
Let me go check. Oh no, it's dead end, okay. And see, this game was originally for PS3, and then they brought it to PS4 and Xbox One with the Definitive Edition, and it had better lighting, like physically based rendering and stuff like that. All the DLC, yada yada yada. And then they just recently redid this new version, and originally on PS4 it was like 1080p 30, now it's 4K 60, and it has all ray trace lighting. And I don't like, not ray trace reflections, lighting. They've completely took all the lighting out and rebuilt it from scratch with ray trace lighting, and the lighting was 1,000 times better. So you're going from 1080p 30 to 4K 60 with ray trace lighting. It's a pretty sizable upgrade, especially for something that they gave away for free. Plus, it's not something that I can really explain to you, but it uses the haptic feedback of the DualSense really well. It's actually one of the best games I've played for the DualSense, which is kind of, funny because it was a game that literally predates it. But they didn't just add support. Like I can feel the pot rumbling right now in the controller. Shit. I was supposed to jump over. I love shit like that. There we go.
thinks you forgot me.
Okay, that's right, I gotta open the door for him, that's my bad. Is it? I think it might be up here. Oh, okay.
Stay there. I'll get the door. Let her drop. That's the Guardian, Ryder. And if you would get to the tree, we will have to wake that beast.
And then what?
The Guardian will do what it was meant to. Destroy the corruption blocking the tree.
But it looks finished. Why does it just stand there?
The body is finished, aye. But as it stands, it is no more than dead stone. To give life to the stone, we must give it the essence of a maker's heart. 3 of them for a beast this large.
And how do we do that?
These heartstones were finished, along with the Guardian, but never married to the stone. They're all in the temple. We need only look to find them.
Then let's go.
Okay, I gotta come back to that.
Is it over already?
Nope, okay. I love Karn, man.
That was a nice warm-up.
He's fucking hilarious.
Over there.
Alley-oop! Ooh, shiny.
I'll get the door. Oi, this
Damn it. Ah, you fucker. Oh, you son of a bitch. Finally, fuck. Give me that loot! Oh yeah, I forgot there's a treasure chest right here.
I'll wait here. You go on ahead.
Yeah! It really is. Oh, it's right below me. Oh, damn it, didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Yeah! We're about to get a major upgrade, the Death Grip. Basically lets you grab shit from a distance. Woo! And is insanely useful for combat. Ooh, nice boot.
Follow me.
Now I gotta go this way. I gotta go this way first, bro. Woo! Ah, fuck, that's right, it's just a wall run back. That's my bad. Oh well, it just put me there.
That's it.
Fuck, that did.
Follow me. Stay there. I'll get the door.
Hold on.
Follow me!
God, I love the soundtrack for this game so fucking much.
Looks like they're right for a tussle.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Stone. Within lays the soul of a great maker. Find a way to bring it down, and I'll carry it. That's it. Over here.